Imagine a world where every road leads to a single point, a city of marble and gold that redefined the limits of human ambition. Welcome to Rome at its absolute peak, in the year 320 AD. This is the Eternal City, not as a collection of silent ruins, but as a thundering metropolis of over 1 million souls. From the heights of the surrounding hills, the sheer scale of the city is breathtaking. It is a dense, vibrant tapestry of monumental architecture, spanning over 13 square miles of urban splendor. At the heart of this empire lies the Roman Forum, the pulsing center of political and social life for centuries. Walking through the Forum, you are surrounded by the immense shadows of history. Here, the Temple of Saturn and the Basilica Julia stand in pristine condition, their white marble reflecting the Mediterranean sun. Polished bronze statues of gods and emperors line the sacred way, gleaming with an intensity that seems almost divine. To your left, the rostra stands ready for the city's greatest orators, while the Curia Julia remains the somber home of the Senate. Every stone here tells a story of conquest, law, and the relentless pursuit of power that shaped Western civilization. High above the Forum, the Palatine Hill rises as a fortress of imperial luxury. This is the residence of the Caesars, a sprawling complex of palaces that defies imagination. The Domus Augustana and the Flavian Palace are marvels of Roman engineering, featuring sprawling courtyards, private stadiums, and intricate mosaic floors. From these balconies, the emperor looked out over his domain, watching the smoke rise from 1,000 domestic hearths below. The air here is thin and sweet, separated from the noise of the streets by massive retaining walls and hanging gardens. The sheer engineering prowess of the Romans is most evident in their mastery of water. 11 great aqueducts march across the Campagna, bringing millions of gallons of fresh water into the city every day. This lifeblood feeds over 1,000 public fountains and the legendary imperial baths. The baths of Caracalla and Diocletian are more than just places to wash. They are massive social hubs. Inside, citizens enjoy heated pools, gymnasiums, and libraries under soaring vaulted ceilings decorated with breathtaking frescoes. It is a testament to a state that provided luxury for the common man. But the true heart of Roman entertainment lies within the walls of the Flavian Amphitheater, better known as the Colosseum. At its peak, this massive structure is clad in shimmering travertine and adorned with 80 statues in its upper arches. Inside, 50,000 spectators roar as gladiators fight for glory, and sand is stained with the price of empire. Above them, the massive velarium awning provides shade, managed by a specialized detachment of the Imperial Navy. It is a spectacle of organization and brutality, a physical manifestation of Rome's dominance over the natural world. Just a short walk away, the Circus Maximus offers a different kind of thrill. This immense stadium, stretching over 600 meters, can hold over 150,000 people. The sound of thundering hooves and the smell of kicked-up dust fill the air as four-horse chariots race around the spina. The central barrier is decorated with Egyptian obelisks and bronze dolphins that count the laps. Here, the passion of the Roman people is at its most feverish as factions of blue, green, red, and white compete for the ultimate victory. The city is also a place of profound spiritual devotion. The Pantheon stands as a miracle of concrete and geometry, its massive dome remaining the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world. As you enter through the bronze doors, a single beam of light falls from the oculus, illuminating the statues of the planetary gods. The interior is a perfect sphere, representing the cosmos under Roman rule. It is a space where the earthly and the divine meet in perfect architectural harmony, a temple that has survived the ravages of time to tell its story. While the monuments are grand, the reality of Roman life is found in the narrow, winding streets of the Subura. Here, the city is loud, crowded, and smelling of charcoal and street food. High-rise apartment buildings called insulae lean over the cobblestones, housing the workers, artisans, and migrants who keep the empire running. Shops line the ground floors, selling everything from Spanish olive oil to Egyptian grain. In these shadows, the true diversity of the empire is visible, with faces and languages from every corner of the known world. The Tiber River serves as the city's commercial artery, crowded with barges bringing goods from the port of Ostia. Warehouses known as Horea line the banks, filled with enough grain to feed the city for a year. Stone bridges like the Pons Aelius connect the city to the monumental tomb of Hadrian, a golden-domed mausoleum that dominates the riverfront. The constant movement of goods and people creates a rhythm that never stops, even after the sun sets and the city is lit by the flickering glow of oil lamps. As we look toward the Capitoline Hill, the temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus shines like a beacon. Its gilded roof tiles are said to be visible for miles, a symbol of the protection of the gods. This was the final destination for every triumphal procession, where victorious generals offered their spoils to the state. The hill represents the enduring spirit of the Roman people, a culture that valued tradition and order above all else. It is the architectural crown of a city that believed it would rule forever. By the 4th century, Rome is a city of transition, where ancient traditions meet the rising influence of new beliefs. Great basilicas like the original St. Peter's are beginning to rise on the outskirts, signaling a shift in the cultural landscape. Yet, the physical majesty of the city remains unchallenged. The marble-clad streets, the soaring triumphal arches, and the vast public squares create an urban experience that would not be equaled for over a millennium. It is a masterpiece of planning and decorative excess. As our journey through the year 320 AD comes to a close, we realize that Rome was more than just a city. It was an idea, a vision of a unified world held together by law, engineering, and shared culture. Even as the empire eventually faded, the blueprint of the eternal city remained etched into the foundations of the modern world. To walk these digital streets is to rediscover our own history, standing in the shadow of giants who built a world that refused to be forgotten. This is Rome, the eternal, the reborn.